There are Americans coming over here being nasty, doing nasty things, and being bad to the locals. Now, let me flip the fucking script. If this is home, why do we have to pay to be a resident? If this is home, why isn't our citizenship automatically given to us?
Hi guys, welcome to another video. It's Ndagire here. Thanks for coming. As always, for the subscribers, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. Today's video is something that I got from a fellow creator, and she's also a guest most of the times on this channel, 𝗬cie, and please go check out her full clip of this video. We have a Black American woman who is literally tired of what is going on in Ghana, and she had to just speak about it. But yeah guys, watch this clip, come back, and let's talk about it.
There are Americans coming over here being nasty, doing nasty things, and being bad to the locals. Now, let me flip the fucking script, okay? Let's talk about the fact that we get abused over here, too. The thing about Ghana is stop crying victim. Stop crying victim, because y'all cheat us out of a lot of stuff. Y'all invited us to come home, which by the thousands we did. We came running to Ghana. People sold their homes, moved out of their apartments, sold everything. Some people packed up containers and moved over here just to get over here and realize this is not our home. Y'all call us foreigners. Ghanaians call us that. We didn't make that word up. We didn't start calling ourselves that. We don't know that that's what y'all call the white people and the Chinese because we're not around them. But we know that that's what y'all call us. I ain't never heard the word before, Tabi, till I came to Ghana. Okay, y'all invite us home. Let's talk about what y'all do to us. Starting from the fucking before we get to the airport, we got to have a visa that we pay for to even enter our home. We pay all this money for passports and visas to get here. We get to the airport, and as soon as you see a fucking blue passport, everybody's coming for us. Can you give me something small at the COVID place? You get to immigration. Can you give me something small? You get to baggage. Can you give me something small? A person grabbed a damn cart and put my bag on it and got mad because I gave him $5 because I only had hundreds, because you come over here with hundreds to get the best, cash in rate. How about he looked at that and said, I don't want that. I said, what you mean you don't want it? He said, I want to know, what did you expect me to give you? He said, $10. I said, so you want me to give you over 100 CDs for picking up a bag, putting it in a cart? He don't know this is like my 5th time coming through the airport. I have never seen nowhere in any country or state where people have openly, it says $60 for foreigners, $30 for locals, okay? You go to 𝗂𝗶𝘀 Park, and I don't remember the price. Let's say $200 for foreigners, because that's what y'all call us, $40 for locals. You go to the castle, it's $60 for foreigners, $10 for locals. I ain't never seen that nowhere. I ain't never went nowhere in the U.S., Mexico, and Canada where it said you pay, if you a local, if you're from here, you pay $3 for a Coca-Cola, but if you're a foreigner, you pay $8 for a Coca-Cola. I ain't never seen that nowhere. Except Ghana. Nobody in the airport has ever asked me for no money for nothing. I have only seen that in Ghana. Now let's talk about the fact that y'all welcomed us home and how this process looks to me. According to y'all, the ones of us that were stolen, so let's talk about the process of coming home. We got stolen from our mother, our birth mother and father. 20 years later, we're probably 26 years old now. Our mother finds us and she said, baby, y'all come home. I miss you. Come back home. Get out them streets where they don't love you at and come home. So we drive, take a taxi, however we get to our mother's address. We get there. But before she let us come to the door, she says, oh, welcome home. But before you come in, can you pay me $300 to enter the door? That's the visa to come home. So, okay, we happy to be home. So we paid $300 to our mother to step foot in her house because we're excited to be home to the motherland, okay? We get in there, and now it's dinner time. And she has plates on the table for the kids that grew up in the house, and she has a plate on the table for me and my sister who was stolen years ago. And she says, oh, my daughters, because you didn't grow up here, my children get to eat free that grew up here, but because you were stolen and you're just coming back, I have to charge you $20 for a plate. So me and my sister, we're so happy to be home. We're confused. We pay her $20 for a plate. Okay. That's the 𝗂𝗶𝘀 shit. That's y'all giving us different prices for shit. Okay. Now we're at our mother's house and we're enjoying being there. We see something's a little weird, but we enjoy being back home with our mother. We decide we want to stay. And she goes, oh, you want to stay a little longer? You're going to have to pay me $1,000 every year to stay here. That's the residency. Now we're paying her for residency, even though she invited us home after we were stolen from her. Okay. Now we pay the residency, and then we decide, you know what? We want to get on the birth certificate. We kind of like it here. It's a little weird, but we comfortable enough to stay here. And she tells us, oh, in order for you to stay here, I have to put my name on your birth certificate. That's going to be $3,000 each, please. And then I will put your name on the birth certificate and you will become a family member. That's the citizenship. That's the citizenship. So how are we home if we got to pay y'all? Why aren't the visas free? If this is home, why don't you make this visa free for us? If this is home, why do we have to pay to be a resident? If this is home, why isn't our citizenship automatically given to us?
As you see in the video, that is what went down. I really can't say much about this thing because I talk about it a lot. But one thing I can really emphasize in this situation is I always talk about how you should not trust every other person that you come across to when you come or land into the continent. Please do not just love everybody. Don't just embrace everybody. People are so weird. People have different motives. And when it comes to the airport situation that the lady was talking about, I experienced the same thing. As a Ugandan when I was traveling, it was the most craziest, most ridiculous, most horrible situation that I've ever been in as a person. And I'll never forget it, because literally the way I was treated at the airport by my fellow Ugandan people, my fellow people, was crazy. I've shared on videos where even other African people, when they come into different African countries or when they come into my country, they experience the worst kind of treatment, which I don't think goes to other groups of people that are not African people. And it's just sad, when it comes to the citizenship. I don't really know why African countries come out to call like African people from the diaspora and still not give them benefits on how they should navigate being in the continent. I mean, these are statements that I've shared a lot on the platform coming from our African leaders come on the internet on a daily and want to show how we should actually welcome our brothers and sisters from the diaspora and say things like they need to come back home. We need to connect Africa to the diaspora. We need to come together as a people. But then seeing that you guys are so stressed when you come in the continent, it really bothers people like me that want you to be in the continent, which is actually your home, And she really said a lot of valid reasons, as well as when she talked about begging. Me and Esther have talked about this on a daily, and other creators have talked about this. I don't know why we Africans have this begging mentality. We are so open to beg randomly, and it's really disturbing sometimes, or most of the times, because we'll never get the respect that we need. I mean, you see it also on the top of the chain where our governments receive money from these other big countries of the West, but still do even nothing with that money. And it's really sad that a person has to come in the airport and has to be scammed on every corner that they go to. But then again, do not give your money to anybody just because you're coming into the continent. Like I always tell you guys, you have this sympathy towards us that you want us to embrace you. You want African people to love you, which I don't think is very necessary, especially in the times of today, of 2024. The world changed. People are more into where they can gain from than to really connect with the people. And I always tell you guys, yes, you are African, but sometimes, or most of the times, when people see that you have an American passport, a British passport, a passport that is bigger, they will always assume that you have money. I always say these things to you because I don't want you to come in the blind. You need to know these things. You need to be stingy when you meet people. Don't just openly give out things.
Why are so many African Americans leaving Africa right now? I think when people migrate to the continent or they leave abroad, as we're seeing in record numbers, more than ever before, I'm not sure if it's new or if social media is giving us these viewpoints, but you come to countries where you find the quality of life so much better, but the cost of living a lot less than what you're used to, and you overextend. You purchase a house or you get an apartment in the most luxurious part of the country. You're dining out every day, multiple times a day. You've got a driver, you know, you're doing all of these things. And while these things can still be relatively affordable, what I see for the most part is people just doing the most, like getting the most luxurious car, the most luxurious home, the most luxurious furnishings, and essentially they can't afford to not do the work that they were doing in the US to now sustain the life that they've created on the continent. And so, you know, when I first arrived to the continent, I wouldn't say made those mistakes. I have lived, had money, lost money, had money, lost it. So I knew how to live pretty frugally. But I do recommend that when you do migrate, that you enjoy that experience for the short term. And that's like 30 days, you know, celebrate yourself, have fantastic dinners out, stay at a hotel, stay in a fabulous Airbnb. But if this is something that you want to do long term, you need to get yourself on a budget and be financially responsible so that you don't overextend yourself, so that you don't end up having to go back to a country that you so direly want to get out of.
Just because you're from the diaspora, just because you're from America or Europe or whatever that you're from in the West, and you're coming here in any African country, you don't have to literally undermine the situation. Don't over exaggerate it. Don't feel like, oh, I have more money that I can survive longer in the continent. A lot of people will come to your faces. A lot of things are to be paid for. How are we calling our brothers and sisters to come back home and still want to make them pay for a lot of things? Of course, nothing comes for free. Nothing honestly comes for free. Everything has to be paid for in some ways or the other. But it just doesn't make sense that we have to do that to the people that we want to see in the continent. And she talked about how prices change between a foreigner and a local person. That's something that I've actually started to realize, because when I traveled and I went to Dubai, guys, honestly, everybody was paying the same price. It was known because you're from Uganda, you're from Nigeria, you're from America, you're from where, all the prices were the same. When it came to transport, when it came to grocery, when it came to rent, when it came to going to places of fun, it was the same price for everybody. Yes, it could be VIP or economy or whatsoever, you know, those things, but it was still a standard price. But then when it comes to, let's say, my country, it's crazy, because even when you're getting a taxi or a border, when they see how you look like, the prices change immediately, and it really bothers me. So I think as African people need to really change our mindset and have this kind of trustworthy kind of character that we can give out, because the more we do these things, it really pushes away the people that can really want or would like to stay in the continent, especially our brothers and sisters in the diaspora. It's crazy that these things happen. I remember one time I went to some recreation place and I saw foreigners who were paying a certain amount and I was paying a different amount. And, you know, I would question myself. I was like, why is this happening? So it's something that has been put in the system and people are making it a normal thing. But on the flip side, when I traveled, I didn't experience such a thing. Even though I was a foreigner in the country that I went to, I was paying the same price as anybody else. So these are things that we really need to look into as a people and start fixing them, because if we don't, we are the ones that are chasing away our own people from coming and staying in the continent. And it's absurd, really. It's really absurd. I really can't say much about it because I talk about it a lot, but I really wanted to share this and still not discourage that you should not come here. Come, just be cautious, just be mindful. Don't overlove everybody. Don't overgive everybody. Don't just be too much with everybody, because at the end of the day, most people will still see you as someone who is better, not because of your appearance, but because of where you come from, that you have more opportunities to give or to offer. So they might mostly come to you to take advantage of you, which I do not wish it for you at all. And everything will be easy. When it comes to things that concern the government, I think it's us as Africans that need to push our governments to do better so that you guys can somehow be compensated in some way or the other, or be guided for you to be able to stay in the continent. But yeah guys, that is it for me in the video. Let me know what you think about this. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment. I will see you in the next video. Bye.